this week's Who Would Win of the Week is definitely Halloween inspired.
Yeah.
It's definitely a 90s child inspired.
I didn't even
We
realize that
have
this was like gonna be our Halloween episode. I tried to find like a little costume
yeah.
or something, but I forgot
Oh,
about
I
it.
didn't
So I
even
just
think
have
about
this little
that.
pipe.
I definitely could. I didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
I actually have to come. I've got a costume set for Saturday, couple's costume, not a big
Yeah.
deal.
Not a big
But
deal.
Friday,
Do you want to say what it is?
yeah,
You want to say what you're going for
no,
Halloween?
no.
Okay.
No. Oh,
Okay.
maybe we'll get some stuff up on social media though.
Oh
Once
yeah,
it
we
happens.
probably
But
should.
Friday we're going out with like a big group, and Hannah's going as something with some of her friends. So that kind of leaves me to
your own device.
decide on my own Halloween costume. And I talked to my roommate about maybe if we should do something. About my only parameter was I'll be it if it will cost me under $10.
Okay.
So, but I don't know. So anyway, back to the Who Would Win of the Week. Who would win of the week?
We gotta nail down that song. We gotta get that together.
Yeah, we gotta write something. We have the Sanderson sisters from Hocus Pocus. Can't remember the names off the top of my head. You have Sarah, Winifred and Mary Sanderson. Yeah. And then we have, so a little tweak here. We have the
Cromwell witches.
I guess you would say the Cromwell witches from Halloweentown, but you have Aggie the grandma, Gwen the mom, and Marnie the oldest daughter. We're not including Sophie at this point. However, for several reasons. One, I actually, and Andy kind of disagreed with me on this when we went over it. I actually think that Sophie would make them too powerful. I think that would make the fight unfair. Yeah. But also, just to keep numbers even, I also think something that we didn't talk about that we should get down right now. What movie in Halloweentown? Because obviously Marnie's powers progress through the series as she gets older. Are we going the very first Halloweentown? Are we staying true to original? I mean, they're closer. The movies are closer in year at that point.
Sure, I'm cool with going Halloweentown High for sure, as long as we don't
Halloweentown High.
Yeah, I'm cool with putting that in there.
Okay.
Okay. But based on your reaction, I mean, we can just go Calabar's Revenge.
I'll go. I have no problem going Halloweentown High.
As long as it's not. What's the?
Well,
what's the fourth one?
The
fourth one, as far as I'm concerned, is not canon because it's a different actress playing Marnie, so I don't count that movie.
Yeah, it is still good. Same brother though.
Yeah.
And the other actors.
Dylan.
Halloweentown. So the third Halloweentown is Halloweentown High.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. That's we can do that. I think it makes the conversation more interesting because in the first two movies you don't see as much like real magic out of Marnie, so I guess that kind of spices it up.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna take the reins and dive into it right away if you want. The Sanderson sisters wreaked havoc for a long time. And they were even powerful enough to know that one day they would come back because a virgin would light the black flame candle. And that worked out all well and good. But at the end of the day, the Sanderson sisters were defeated by a group of non-magical humans, but just regular humans, right? Whereas you look at just the Cromwell name, they're the most powerful witches in all of Halloweentown. That's a fact. So the grandma, dominant force, the mom, dominant force. And if we're going Halloweentown High, that's when you see Marnie really be able to use her magic, right? She doesn't have it all down yet, but she really starts using it. And when they get in these movie conflicts and they get in these fights, they're fighting other magical creatures, and they've always found a way to win. So I think that right away you look at given the Sanderson sisters, you know more about their past than their present, right? Because they don't have that much time to operate within. But you don't really usually either in Halloweentown, because for some reason it always happens that the portal is either closed, or you have 4 hours till midnight, or whatever it is,
Right.
Yeah, there's always something.
Yeah.
So, but if the Sanderson sisters are going to be defeated by mortal human beings, just regular old average Joes, kids, in fact, and a cat, which I guess is somewhat magical because it can talk, but it
It's
doesn't
a guy
die.
who like got turned into an immortal
Yeah,
cat.
yeah. But I think that right away you have to look at the Cromwell witches as more powerful than the Sanderson sisters, just because as of the time that we live through the movies, the Cromwells appear more powerful, and the Sanderson sisters die to a bunch of kids.
Right.
But as folk goes, as the tale goes, I mean, they ruled wherever. What was it? I don't know if it's Salem. It's somewhere
Salem.
in Massachusetts. It is Salem. I mean, they dominated and ate children there for a long time, I guess. But it also comes down to good versus evil. And I think a lot of times when we're talking about these situations in movies, good wins and evil doesn't. So if you take it out of movie and really just throw them in a ring, who's going to win? I don't know. What are your thoughts? I know I just kind of went off, and I'm sure you can tell I kind of have an idea.
Points. You make some good points that I kind of want to try and refine a little bit. No,
okay,
not exactly rebuttal, but so let me put on my kind of nerd hat here, which I'm always wearing, so I guess I'm just adjusting it. The type of magic that the Sanderson sisters use and the type of magic that the Cromwells use is very different. I would say, so I'll get into this in a little more deep. The Sanderson sisters, their type of magic seems to be like the type of magic that if you were like a regular person and just like practiced and studied and like grassroots kind of like witchcraft, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
and
can I just add one point before you continue though?
I think
just on
this
that
might be
okay.
They get their powers from the devil.
Yeah, I say because they do. I mean, obviously, effects are different. The movie's a lot older, especially than the third Halloweentown. But they do the zappy thing, right? They
Sure.
they zap people.
Sith lightning.
They bring they bring that one zombie dude back to life. That's mouth is so shut. So they do some magic, but you don't see the magic from them that you see. But it's okay. Keep going. Sorry.
And obviously and even though we don't necessarily see them use it as much, they do have like a spell book and stuff that they're pretty reliant on. And like I said, they are people who got their powers from the devil, right? They're gifted it from an outside source. The Cromwells are themselves magical beings. And the type of magic that they use seems to be more what I would consider kind of like Harry Potter style magic, where the rules are like pretty loose, where I would argue that with the Sanderson sisters, even though we might not see it so much in the movie, I think there's a lot of subtext there, at the very least, saying that the magic that they use does have a lot of rules to it. The fact that it takes them time to prepare their child soul-stealing spell. There's a lot of singing, which is very ritualistic, right? To their magic. Whereas again, the Cromwells, that magic is almost like flexing a muscle for them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you do see. It's just tough because now I'm off. I don't remember exactly in the third movie, but you do see times in the first movie where they do have to collect the stuff for the potions.
That's true.
And then it's when the ha tiki ti, ha tiki ta, That is forever burned in my brain. I'll never forget that spell. I don't know. It unfreezes people or some shit.
Right.
But I think that I'm gonna go with the Cromwell witches this one. I think that because we really don't even talked about Marnie. Like you didn't even consider how powerful Aggie is. Aggie
Yeah,
Cromwell is
she's
the Cromwell witch of Halloweentown.
right.
And the mom, although the mom at first displays magic in the beginning of the movie
Yeah.
series, by that point, I mean she you know what I mean? Like she's dialed like so I
Yeah,
think
they
that
definitely
if you
show
take
in the
all three of
movies
them
that the
together,
mom.
because this is so,
Um,
so you look at the Sanderson sisters, it's made to seem that minus the one sister, I don't remember which one is which. Um, um, I think Mary, minus Mary, who's like their leader. The other
no,
sisters are
Winifred.
like
Winifred is
fairly
like the
Winifred.
big one. Yeah.
Oh well, the other sisters are like fairly incompetent individuals,
Hmm.
right? From what you, so I think I'm gonna lock in Halloweentown, Cromwell witches. What do you got for me?
Yeah, especially when you look at it like that, and with the mom, Gwen Cromwell, uh,
Yeah,
she yeah, at the beginning of the movie series, she hasn't used magic in so long that she is a little rusty. But by the end of the series, when she starts to use it more, you see that it doesn't take very long for her to like snap right back into it. Uh, I think that ultimately, without a doubt, the Cromwell witches would wipe the floor with the Sanderson sisters. I
the
mean,
Sanderson
anything
sisters.
like they're evil, but you know, I, like they definitely are powerful in a way, but uh,
Yeah, I just don't think they get it
because their
done.
power
I
doesn't
don't.
come naturally to them, they're I think they're not as
They're at a
powerful, and there's
disadvantage,
definitely
but they're
and
definitely
yes,
not as
they're
powerful.
definitely at a disadvantage. And like you said, the other two sisters, not Winifred, they're definitely pretty incompetent. Although, so I mean, if this were like to use the most common analogy ever, take out the head of the snake, which is Winifred, the other two sisters would be completely done. So
Give me
if
toes.
you go Aggie Cromwell versus Winifred Sanderson, you are a motherfucker if you think that if you're trying to tell me that Winifred would win that in the
Yeah, there's no
slightest.
chance at all.
Yeah,
It's
she
not even
would get
close. I'm glad we
completely
agree.
roasted. Yeah, without a doubt. I
Yeah.
mean, you can't. I don't
Um.
think you can bet against the
No.
Cromwells. Maybe
Yeah.
against some other if they
Um.
go against some other people, but the Sanderson sisters, I
Yeah.
just think they don't. They definitely don't have what it takes from
I
an
think that the
ability level, and
only.
I think as team, just everything, all components.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. I think that the only like. I mean, like, it's a very like because like they're not Harry Potter level. You know what I mean? Like they're not. I don't think they're as power. Like those people are
No,
killing
I'm
each
just
other
saying
and
like the
shit.
the type of
But
magic
like,
though.
yeah, no, that's what I mean. But I think that they are. So, Halloween Town, Cronwell family, witches. That's what we're locking in. But of course, we'll get you guys' opinions on social media with the Who Would Win of the Week polls. Um, I would assume it's going to be a landslide, but I don't know. I
I
guess
don't
I
know
guess
either.
every once in a while people got to shake things up.
Yeah,
And a lot of people are very passionate about the movie Hocus Pocus,
right.
which it's a good movie, but I'm not sure where all their passion comes from. Um,
And I do think like the
so
Sanderson sisters are in their own way like intimidating, and
oh
they
yeah.
definitely do some like fucked up like scary stuff.
Also, though, I mean, I do still think that they'd win, but let's remember that they came back to life in a time period that they had no clue
Yes,
about,
yes.
and they still came pretty damn close to pulling off some trickery. So you got to give them credit where credit's due, but I don't think they could beat the Cronwalls.
No, not a
Like we
chance.
said, you'll see that on social media. Let us know what you guys think.